Whoa.
Hmm.
What instrument is that?
This is a hummus, maybe more commonly known as a jaw hop, sometimes known as a Jew's hop. Not really sure why it's called that. So this instrument is a special little instrument that originates in Siberia, as far as I know. Generally, with most of my instruments, I don't actually know the full picture behind them, which kind of maybe intrigues me a little bit more. So one reason for that is because this instrument is from a place called Yakutia, which is like the northernmost point of Siberia. So it's very remote. So there's not much information out there. Well, there probably is, but a lot of it is in Russian and maybe hasn't been translated. So I'm on kind of a journey of learning Russian and hopefully going to travel there one day and learn more about the music and the instruments. So what I do know is that one of the backstories I've heard about this instrument is that it was inspired by a tree when it was hit by lightning, and then pieces of wood would vibrate and make a sound. And then using wood and bones, people started making jaw hops out of wood and bone. So there's a reed that vibrates when it's flicked like this, which makes a little bit of a sound, but the sound really comes through when you connect it with your body. So your body becomes part of the instrument. So it's connected to your teeth. So you feel the vibrations through your whole body, your brain, your skull, and then you connect with your breath using your lungs, your stomach. And you create you create overtones by changing the shape of your mouth while you play, changing the movements of your tongue, the size of the cavity of the mouth. So yeah, you can do some pretty cool things with this little thing.
Would you say that's a like air instrument?
I'd say this is a reed instrument. So I guess this reed vibrating between the two beams here is a reed, just like a harmonica, just like that flute that Mario is playing. There's like a reed. When the air comes in and out, it vibrates, creates a tone. So that vibration, that's why when you breathe, it makes it louder because the vibration becomes stronger when you breathe in and out. And I have another one here, which is a slightly higher tone. This one I'd like to play when I'm playing a bit faster. And yeah, this is a Yakutian hummus made by a Yakutian hummus maker master. Yeah, so I'll give you a little demo of this one as well.
Can you bring the mic closer to you?
Sure. Yeah, so like when I'm using it, I'm making small noises here and there just to accompany it. Some people even sing or even like throat sing while they play. Yeah, there's hundreds of things you can do with this little thing. And yeah, this instrument holds like a really big significance to the Yakutian people as like a shamanic instrument, as a way to bring them into a trance when they're using in a shamanic situation, whether it's healing or something similar. So yeah, there's the hummus. Uh, that's the thing about me. I go through phases. So like 1 week it'll be one thing, then it'll be another thing. So I think where it mostly started was Siberia. Yeah, Central Asia, Siberia, Mongolia, Altai, Tuva, Kazakhstan. I think that's where most of my interest in music started. So that's always going to have like a uh, quite a significant place in my heart in terms of music and a lot of inspiration. And then I think from there, everything kind of other inspirations came, and I went on a journey from there into different places and different musical traditions and learning about different cultures from there. But yeah, I think that's where it started. Mm. Yeah.
You want to play something else for us?
Sure. So maybe I'll give you a little something on the dombra. So this is a dombra. It's a dombra, but actually the way I play it is I play it like an instrument called a topshur, which is an instrument from Altai, which is more or less the same sound. It's two strings. It just looks slightly different, and it's played differently. And usually they play it whilst throat singing, and yeah, singing.
Are you gonna be throat singing?
Yeah.
All right.
So I can maybe give a little explanation of the throat singing after the song. Or
Yeah.
so I have some lyrics here, and yeah, like I said, with most of my music, I'm still learning about what it's all about. So this song in particular, I don't actually know exactly what it's about, but I heard it and it just resonated. And I've learned some little bits about, because it's language, it's a very old Turkic language, which is like the ancestor of Turkish, the original Turkish language, one of the oldest languages in the world, Altai. So most likely I'm going to get some of the pronunciations right, wrong. Sorry. So it'll be kind of like an imitation of what I've heard. And this song, as far as I know, is some kind of like blessing song. It's like a song they would play. I might be wrong. A song they would play before maybe going out hunting. I've read once in a book that it's a song they would play before going out bear hunting. So yeah, it's a very old traditional folk song from Altai. Should I go? Hmm.
That was crazy.
Thank you, man. So, yeah,
Show the lyric paper to the camera.
sure. So the
Hold on,
lyrics,
Just put this aside.
even the lyrics that I've written here probably won't be, definitely aren't the exact translations of how the song sounds. This is just my interpretation of the words from. So this song is like a traditional song played in the Altai region, and it seems like every singer kind of has their own version, and within the lyrics there's a lot of improvisation. So I have the lyrics here, and it's quite simple. There's not too many ups and downs with the lyrics, so it's kind of like quite shamanic and just gets you in a kind of trance. So you just play, and then you kind of improvise around the play. So like that, there was mostly just like improvisation, just like doing simple stuff, nothing too complicated, and it's yeah, kind of like a shamanic kind of vibe to it. Um,
The instruments you play seem to have a lot to do with vibrations,
mm,
and you like almost and people who they use sounds and vibrations to meditate.
hmm
I wonder, like, do you have that connection with the music?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of it is for me. It's like a meditation. So like I was saying with this song, a lot of it's improvisation. So like you're not really following a sheet. Obviously, I've got the lyrics there that I'm kind of following here and there, but you can kind of go in and out. And yeah, you kind of just get into a bit of a trance with it, and you kind of just let it flow. Same with the whole moose there as well. It's all improvisation, and you kind of get lost within that. And yeah, you just absorb all of the vibrations that you're coming through, and you really just feel the song yeah, in your body as well, especially with something like throat singing. It's very physical, and you kind of, it feels like powerful when you do it. I feel like my voice has never been like something I've been that confident about, like growing up, like singing and even just speaking and just having a yeah, just projecting my own voice. So I think when I unlocked that throat singing thing, it kind of just like unlocked a new level of like
Power.
yeah, power. Yeah, yeah. So it felt good. Feels good to play. And yeah, settles me. And because I think yeah, I got into it when I first started listening to throat singing. A few years ago, and it would just yeah change. It would just have crazy effects on my mood, just make me so happy, um, and yeah, just really settle me, making me feel grounded. And then learning to actually throat sing myself was like a whole nother level of that. So yeah,
Is it tough to throat sing?
it
Was that a
it it,
learning
it
curve?
can be tough. Like it's a lot of it is down to conditioning. So you have to be quite dedicated to like condition your throat. So a lot of people will try and then they'll start feeling pain, which is normal. And then you push past that pain, you let it heal, let the throat get stronger. And then you get to a point where you can sustain the tones even at quite a high register. So like that song is particularly kind of a high register for throat singing.
Really?
And yeah, so I could probably go like a whole day doing that song in with that style. But when you first start out, it's going to be really painful and scratchy, and yeah, like I said, it's all part of conditioning, and so it is tough. It took a while to get there, maybe like a couple months to be able to sustain a tone. Um, but when you get there, yeah, it's like a muscle that you train, so you can lose it as well. So if I didn't throat sing for a couple weeks, I would lose I would lose the strength in the muscles, and I'd lose the
That song you played is beautiful.
thank you, man. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like can't really explain the vibe. It's kind of like dark and kind of gritty, and
Just
it's
imagine
got some
big
warrior
mountains,
vibes.
just like
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, it's got some warrior essence to it. It's quite like a powerful song. So yeah, I'd love to learn more about it. And so yeah, one of my plans is to actually take a trip out there. Um, so I'm learning Russian now, which is going to help because it's quite I wouldn't say it's a remote place, but it's kind of off the map in terms of not many tourists go there. I think the most tourists that do go there are Russians, so everyone there speaks Russian and Altai language as well. So yeah, um, it's going to be an interesting trip when I make it there. Yeah,
What else
yeah.
you got for us?
So I thought maybe I could do a little throat singing solo as well, just to give a bit more of a demonstration of how that sounds. So that style is called in Tuvan they call it Kagura, which is like the lower style. And yeah, I'm still learning these things. It's been about, yeah, like say roughly 2.5 years. I've been on a journey with the throat singing, and it's like for me it feels like it's going to be like a lifelong thing. Like I feel like I'm still at the very early stages, um, still developing and learning. Um, and yeah, like I said, it's all mostly imitation because there's not many sources out there. There's a few like YouTube videos, and you kind of just feel your way around and sing and imitate and add your own flares here and there and see what works. And yeah, there's just so much going on in the mouth and the throat, creating overtones. And yeah, there's a lot of science behind it on the tones and which overtones are coming through. So with that style, I'm singing using my false vocal folds, which are not really used ever. When we speak, we use our real vocal folds. Our false vocal folds are only used when we when we grunt. They kind of rub together. When we clear our throat, and if you do that too much, if you're not used to it, it will hurt. But then that's kind of how you train to use that style. You just clear your throat a few times and get that vibration. And then you kind of turn it into a singing voice. So you kind of transform it into a singing voice from there. Yeah. I have some other throat singing styles, but I think maybe leave them for the next episode. Do a bit more another time. Yeah. Nice. Cool. So the next thing I wanted to bring up. So now I guess we're gonna maybe leave Central Asia, um, and we're gonna head more towards Mesoamerica. So by Mesoamerica, I mean the indigenous side of Mexico. So that's the Mayans, the Aztecs, and the Teotihuacan cultures.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, so these flutes, these are Mesoamerican flutes, which yeah, so these come from the cultures of Mesoamerica, which is indigenous Mexico. So the Mayans, um, Teotihuacans, Aztecs would use flutes like this for different reasons, ceremonies, things like that. And they would originally be made from from clay. Um, Back in the days, yeah, they would be made from clay. Nowadays, they're made from wood. Um, yeah, so these are made by uh, a flute maker called Guillermo Martinez, who is a flute maker and kind of like a teacher who spreads knowledge about indigenous practices around Mesoamerica. And yeah, so I'd say, yeah, these flutes, the moment I heard one of these flutes, it really, yeah, touched me, and I was so intrigued by the drones, the harmonics. Um, yeah, and since then I've been, yeah, playing these flutes. And the really nice thing about them is that you can just improvise. There's no sheet music. You just pick up and play however you're feeling. Yeah, you just play, and I like to play out and about. Um, when I'm in the park or wherever, sometimes even on the tube platforms. Um, yeah, and I just play whatever the moment is. I just play how I feel, and I love hearing people's reactions when people hear the flutes being played and
The echo in
feeding
the
off.
two platformers be crazy.
Yeah, there's certain spots, certain stations that will have like insane reverb, like echo. If anyone's wondering where that is, so far the best place I've found, because I'm like a bit of a nerd when it comes to like acoustics and things like that. So I'm always looking for the nicest, the best spots to play. And there's a really cool tunnel in Old Street Station as you're heading towards the National Rail from the tube. And yeah, I play there a lot because I work in Old Street, so I'm always passing through, and I always bring a flute with me and play, which is like, yeah, I feel like it's nice to play in an environment where, like, especially on the tube, um so many people are just going to work and maybe aren't feeling their best, stressed out. Yeah, they're commuting, they're not really like in a nice place environment. It's kind of like, yeah, a to and from environment, and I just give them a little something. Some people walk by, some people stop and chat, and yeah, it's really nice. And yeah,
Mhm. Thank you for coming. This is
thanks, man.
really cool.
Thanks, guys.